So we're back on Elden Ring. We finished up last night was relocating Blade. Trying to get his quest line. We'll do some of Rani's quest line, then we'll go and test 1, 2. Then we'll go and find the Three Fingers, get their blessing, so we can save Melina. I noticed the algorithm doesn't like it when you don't go live the time you say you're gonna go.
Problems with this. One, there is
Who is there? Test. One, two, 1, 2. There we go. I want to make sure our sound's coming through nice and sweet, nice and clean. Nice and sweet, nice and clean. Character's not stretched out. That was a bit glitchy, wasn't it? Alright, we want it smooth. I'll check back in. I'll do a quality check in a bit. Seems like we've got some issues. Right. We are Rani. I wish I could do a members only stream. We ain't got that kind of clout, bro. Imagine that. What's up, Jules? How you doing? So Blad said he was coming back here. She's outside of her body, so we can't talk to her. Alright, we're gonna have to find out what to do after you free Blad. Where does Blad go after Evergoal? Blad questline. Upon setting him free, Blad will tell you he must return to the Three Sisters to ensure Rani is safe. Where do I go? He does not immediately appear in the open world until you progress further into the Rani Witch's questline. The primary goal is to proceed with Rani's questline, specifically to the Nokron Eternal City section. Speak with E.G. Return to the road to the manor site of Grace in Liurnia and talk with blacksmith E.G. Liurnia, the road. It's Finger Reader Gate. Benham Church, Nomadic Merchant. Where was that guy? Huh. Mausoleum compound. Return to the manor. Wow, I really got to Google where these sites of graces are. Waiting for lunch. What kind of lunch are you having, bro? Sorry, I didn't see chat. Thank you for tapping that like button. I'm trying to figure out Courier Manor. There he is there. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing on this quest. What's up, your local? How you doing? Your local. Tuna sandwich and a Twix, yeah? What's up, Dickie? You should play a Souls game for sure. What is that? Is that a meal deal? Is that a meal deal or is that a home setup? What's up, Bullish? I would say the biggest hang-ups is the fact that humans invented it, probably. There's no evidence of existing, at least the way that humans describe it. There he is. With his disco ball hat. Why did you imprison Blad?
You finally come. Lion told me everything.
What's the first boss? I can't remember. Cot Bill Deal, fair play to you. Have you tried the hoisin duck with like cheese flavour? Cop's Mill Deal. I can't remember if it's a sandwich or a wrap, but it's really, really good. I think it's duck anyways, something like that. Yeah, I tried that one time just on a random. It was really, really good. Cop doesn't like usually have good food, to be fair.
Once again stirs, and the path to Nokron has opened. Descend underground, where the fallen star struck Limgrave, and make it yours.
Can you guys hear the game?
Precious treasure.
Can you guys hear the game?
Precious treasure.
Oh, cool. Oh, you can strengthen your armaments? Well, this actually... Do you know what? I realised that was a waste. You can make that stronger. Cool.
Something else for you?
What games have you played? What Soul games have you played?
You've spoken with Blind. Very well. There is something you should know. The two fingers gave Blythe to Lady Rani as a faithful follower.
Her very shadow.
Incapable of treasuring.
Yeah, but he loves her, doesn't he?
Lady Rani, as an Empyrean, resists being an instrument of the two fingers. The shadow will go mad, transforming you from a follower to a horrid curse. Such is his.
Oh, I haven't got to play Demon Souls yet.
In such matters, Blythe's own.
Yeah, I mean, they take patience. That's what I can tell you. They get better. I'm still stuck on DS3 ending.
For Lady Rani's sake.
Oh no, that means, yeah, well, I end up fighting Blad anyways, because he's crazy. And he's in love with a stripper. What's up, for real? Why do you think God invented humans? And pelting everyone. Far Cry, I'm still doing my first time playing a Far Cry game as well. I'm on 6, but I think I'm still like near the beginning of Far Cry 6. I'm really playing it. Right, where did he open up the earth? Rodan, where did he, there's here, Waypoint Ruins. Somewhere in Lindell, it's around here. That's where he was. I can't remember where the ruin where he smashed the ground. Why should I read the Bible? Give me a good reason. Stranger Things? There's a Stranger Things update in Far Cry. I've not seen that. Roy Kendrick likes it from behind. Not my words, his words. I don't contest with that because there's not historical evidence of the biblical Jesus. There's at best an argument that a guy called Yahshua existed, but there's no evidence of divine birth, no evidence of resurrection, no evidence of miracles. How do you contest with that? What's up, A-Gods? Elden Ring's such a great game, it is, but like every now and again I do get nostalgic to try play DS1 remake again. I think that was really enjoyable. It's hard to follow sometimes, but enjoyable. What's up, Kate? Well, yeah, that's one of the things. I was reading last night about the how like specifically in Europe culture was more liberal, even though women were still considered subordinate to men. They had way more freedoms and rights before Christendom and Christianity actually took over. It's same thing with gays as well. Gays weren't persecuted before Christianity, which is interesting. A bunch of other things too, but hey, you're not wrong there. But that's not just Christianity though. Other people, other religions have been responsible for those things too. Ego, I mean, I don't think it's a miracle. What's considered a miracle is breaking the laws of physics or the laws of nature through divine intervention. So child pregnancy is quite natural, so it's not a miracle. It's impressive, it's great, but it's not a miracle. Well, if I'd be dead, Ghost, I wouldn't be able to call out to anyone, would I? I'd be dead. Why do I roleplay as a philosopher? Love that. I'm not a philosopher, and I never at any point claim to be. I always make it distinctively clear that I'm not. But yeah. Nah, Source. I mean, the third stage of creating gods would be for societal cohesion. So at that point, yeah, you could say they're control mechanisms. But I don't think all types of gods have been created for control. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, bullish. That's a terrible argument. I can give you a list of people who have died believing in things they thought were true, it turned out to be a lie. That's a really bad argument. Dying for something you believe in doesn't make it true, bro. Yeah. Do you want me to go through that list of people? A lot of them followed apocalyptic messianic teachers too. Don't wake the bear. Oh, where was I? Yeah, it's not. That's not the alternative. What you're presenting is called a false dichotomy. No, my years of college are behind me. I might go back to uni in the future though, but be an old man at uni. My years of college are way behind me, bro. Cursed, yeah, send them. Tell them to leave behind their resources while they're gone. We'll take care of those resources for them. Send them to go find gods. Yes, do that. Tell Musk, tell Bezos, go search the galaxy, and Richard Branson, tell them to get together like the dudes in Submarine and go search the galaxy for gods while they're at, leave their resources behind for Earth to make use of. Pyra, I don't know if that's accurate, but it's interesting comment. Dev, that's cool. Have you ever looked into evolution or looked into abiogenesis? Or, you know, a number of things. Yeah, so personally, I don't make any claims about where the universe comes from, bro. It's not my job to do that. I think science has got some good answers. I think science has got way better answers than theology, so there's that. And they have done for thousands. Well, no, I'm saying about at least 1,000 years now. We are still evolving, bro. Every species on the planet is evolving still, bro. Evolution didn't just stop. Right, so here. Alright, you explain to me why science leads to God. Nah, I never read it, Source. You're talking about Behold the Pale Horse or something like that? No, not everything has a creator, bro. It's called a habit of thought. I don't think we can just jump down there. And even if we could. There's something wrong here. He said to come here, but... That's like the most bizarre parkour ever. We ain't getting down there without dying. yeah, somehow I think we're not gonna go down there. I'm so tempted to jump in though, super tempted. Alright, so let's go check the quest line again. Bro asked me if I went to college just to say you sound indoctrinated by college. You have no idea what I even studied at college, so what are you talking about? What's up, Loopy? The wildest thing I've ever heard. Oh, it's not the wildest. People say crazier things, but that's funny. Alright, man, a sight of grace. So speak with EG. Did that. Blacksmith who offer context. Progress Rani's quest. Continue Rani's quest line by defeating Star Scourge Radahn, exploring Nokron. Where is the Finger Slayer blade? We've already beat Radahn. That's how Blad ended up arrested. I may have Finger Slayer already. Let's check that. What kind of weapon is it? It's not that, is it? Oh yeah, no, that's Falling Star Beast Jaw. Now. Oh, they're not organised. I would have thought I had that already. I can't seem to see it. Finger Slayer blade. Oh, where is that then? The hidden treasure of Eternal City of Nokron. Blade said to have been born of a corpse. Where to find it? Found in a chest under the massive skeleton statue. Night Sacred Ground. Oh, they got interactive chess. Excellent. Alright, so is that Nokron? Nokron isn't there though. Here apparently, Night Sacred Ground. Alright, sorry chat. I was looking up the questline. Time didn't reset for BC and AC. What you're describing is called the Gregorian calendar. Before that it was called the Julian calendar, and before that I think it was called like the Age of Martyrs or something to that extent. But yeah, the Gregorian calendar was more about making sure the stars lined up with actual dates, right? Like celestial bodies lined up with dates, and helping trade to be seamless from different countries to countries. But there are still other calendars at play. The only reason why BC was thought to be like an important thing is because the Roman Catholic Church had a lot of influence in Europe at the time. But that's why it's referred to Common Era. But yes, there are older calendars still in play than the Gregorian calendar. So if you think the BC, like AD BC, is a proof of Jesus, then you just don't know. But it's okay. Humans invented God using imagination and hyperactive agency detection device. That's how they did it. Why they did it, reason 1 is for explanatory power, to explain things they didn't understand. Reason 2 is for psychological needs, to give certainty where there was uncertainty. And reason 3 is for societal or social cohesion. So there's a way to get up there. Yeah, more like you become aware of your actual IQ level. Oh Lord. move, man. Let me yeet. The thing is, well, I would argue that it's, what I'm saying is more than an opinion, but it's definitely supportable scientifically, historically. But yes, they should get upset because beliefs don't necessarily comport with reality. Having a hardened heart has nothing to do with it. That's just you coping. Like, anyway, my standard position is humans invented God. All known gods are psychological constructs and don't exist independently of the mind. If you've got evidence to the contrary of gods existing independently, I'd like to see it. If you've got a good argument that'll change my mind, I'd like to hear it. Whining and preaching and moaning isn't going to get you far, because chances are, as atheists, we probably know your Bible better than you do, which is dread, but true. But yeah, you're not going to be able to make a solid argument from your Bible. What's up, Garrett? I know, right, Garrett? Just like, why would people die for a lie? Well, like, how does that help you prove your point? Alright, there's no proof that Jesus is God. There's literally no proof of that. So, what do you make of that? How do we get up there? So, I say in the finger blade is here. No. On top of there. How do we get there though? Affordable. Sounds like a cope. Do you have anything to offer to the conversation? Alright, quest item found in a chest under the massive skeleton statue, Night Sacred Ground. How do we get there? If you want to access the latest... Oh, you son of a... How do we get there? I love that they've got an interactive map that you can search. W Elden Ring Wiki. That's so good. Okay. How to get to Night Sacred Ground. The Night Sacred Ground is found in Nocturne Eternal City. You can reach these grounds by jumping down the ruins from the ancient ancestral site of Grey. Oh, I understand now. Nocturne is from a different side. Ancestral Wood. Site of Grace. Wait, what? Site of Grace found on a cliff overlooking the ruins of Nocturne Eternal. How do you get there? Night Sacred Ground is a location in Elden Ring. The Night Sacred Ground is found in Nocturne City. You can reach these grounds by jumping down the ruins from Ancestral Wood Site of Grace. Where is that? Ancestral Wood Site of Grace. Yo, this game is so deep, bro. How can I play this 4 times and not ever find this? There's what? How are there 2 sites of grace there? Alright. So you gotta go from the surface. I swear that's the Sephoria, whatever river. No, if there was an incredible amount of proof that Jesus is God, you'd be using it, right? Trust me, every Christian would be parading this evidence, but there simply isn't. It's just chat, it's talking. It's just chatting, as they say. If I ain't gone through Rani's Rise, I've gone to Rani's Rise already though. I've spoken to Blad. I had to free Blad because I messed up the quest line. And now I'm trying to get back onto the quest line. In Rani's Rise, I don't think I can go for it yet. Let's see something. It's not a who, B stacks. Oh, something chasing me. Alright. Now I know that castle. Rena Rise, the one next to Rani, but I think it's got like a blue icing on the door. Do you know how to get through there? Yeah, pretty much, Jay. Damn it. Ooh. Yep, oh, there's plenty of evidence of humans inventing gods throughout history. Lots of evidence, in fact. But there just doesn't seem to be any evidence of those gods existing independently of the inventions. Well, let's not even call it inventions. Oh, we can't go here yet either. Talk about aggro. That was good timing. Alright. Down there. Not gonna be able to get down there though. I think the Christians are on TikTok, Lionel. Not gonna be able to get down there from here. Alright, so let's just go back and check the main quest line, because something is wrong. Yeah, bro, this is my 4th playthrough, surprisingly. Ancestral Woods. Ancestral Woods, Site of Grace in Elden Ring, is located in the Nokron Eternal City, accessible after defeating Starscourge Radahn, falling through a crater in Mistwood from the Mimic Tier Site of Grace. This is all confusion, bro. Mistwood Ruins, right? Yeah, I was there, but it's now a giant hole in the ground. So the only thing I could do is just jump in it. I don't think he'll survive for some reason. Find the starting point. The Mimic Tier Site of Grace. Now I have that, but God knows when I did that. Yeah, this is all underground, but it takes entrance, boss fight, ashes. Yeah, this is so confusing, man. So I remember actually, you could go underground. There's like a castle kind of thing under there in the city. Controller's bugging out. Yeah, Radahn's already done. Can I just jump into the crater? Because I've circled it, but it looks like you just die. Bro, Julius Caesar is not the same type of human as Jesus is reported to be. So you're about to make a really silly analogy. Yes, Julius Caesar tried to claim himself to be God, but no one else actually thought he was God. So as far as Caesars go, it's expected that a Caesar can exist as a normal man. It's not expected that a man that is God would exist. Right? That's something you start out doubting and then attempt to prove true, not start out believing. You know. But all that being said, you're making a silly argument. At best, you might be able to get a guy called Yeshua, a Judaic apocalyptic preacher under John the Baptist. But that guy is not the same guy that has the magical birth or the magical resurrection or does miracles. Okay. And even some historians would argue actually that guy never existed at all either. But good luck with your searches. Hopefully you do some reading. Okay. Yeah, so I'm saying humans invented God. All known gods are psychological constructs and do not exist independently of the mind. If your God requires belief, imagination, or faith to interact with, it's functionally non-existent. It requires somebody to devise a concept of God and impart it to you for you to interact with, or you yourself need to devise a concept of God to interact with it. Alright, so there's our crater. I've never seen that point at the top. Should I just go up there and just sacrifice 400,000 points for no good reason? Just believe in Jesus, bro. I don't think that's how that works. To the left you can go down. Well, I've travelled that path before, but it doesn't seem to take me all the way there. Let me just go to that little Lion King perch quickly. Just have a look. Oh, that bear is in... Oh, Mistwood Ruins. Leave that bear alone. Alright, so this is already clear. Yeah, like I said, Iban, you really don't know enough yet. That's why you're saying what you're saying. Your belief is fine. You can believe that Jesus is God. You can believe that he was the Messiah, but you can't prove it historically, right? So, just relax. Did you hear what I said before? If you need to hit rewinded, go to the red app. This is live streaming right there, so you can rewind it if you need clarity. Let's see what this little Lion King perch does. A little nothing. A big bit of nothing. Yeah, like I said, right, you might be able to have an argument for a guy called Yeshua, a Judaic apocalyptic priest, but some historians would say actually him and Paul didn't exist at all, okay? But I'm not telling you that, I don't really care. I'm saying humans invented God, right? So in order for Jesus to be a proof of God, you'd need to prove God the Father exists. That means like Yahweh, El Elyon, all of that kind of stuff. Not Jesus. And original Israelites believe in strict monotheism. They believe that God doesn't come down in the flesh, right? So you don't get a God-man like Jesus. All of those myths were made up after the fact. Okay, there's never been a proof that Jesus was actually God, that he did miracles, that he was born specially or resurrected. That's just stuff in the Bible, bro. Just like any other religious text or myth. Yeah, look, you can't get down it like that. See if I jump in or nothing. Oh, there's something interesting over there though. But how do you get there? Bro, Shroud of Turin is not proof of God. It's not proof of Jesus either. Put it this way, when people actually look into the Shroud of Turin, the actual cloth that it's on, what it took to produce that cloth didn't come around until what's described as the 1300s. So it's not a proof, right? And even, anyways, I'm just wasting time talking about stuff like that. Yeah, serves me right. Leap of faith, perhaps. Yeah, it would have been. If you think I'm gonna survive jumping into that crater and I can't even make it from one rock to another. Good luck. Right. Anyway, so there is no proof that Jesus is God, bro. You may be a Trinitarian, but you still don't have historical proof on your side for that. Nah, Hondo, I haven't always been a non-believer. Yeah, I figured that would probably be a better way, Whippy. I just messed it up. But yeah, I don't see like obviously we live in the West, so there's majority people are Christian. So this is the angle that they approach this conversation from. But when I'm talking about gods, I'm talking about all known gods. So I'm talking about monotheistic gods, polytheistic gods, henotheistic gods, pantheistic gods, panentheistic gods, deistic gods, dualistic gods, animistic gods. If you don't know what those things are, they're basically just different configurations for gods, right? I'll slow it down for you. Monotheistic means one all-powerful god. Polytheistic means many gods. Henotheistic means one central god, but other gods exist. Pantheistic means God is all. Panentheistic means God is the universe but beyond the universe. Deistic means a non-intervening creator god. Animistic means spirits that inhabit nature. Dualism means two opposing creative forces. Two opposing forces. Okay, so that's like dark and light, good and bad, sun, moon. Okay, they're the different conceptual frameworks for gods throughout history. And within those conceptual frameworks, you get elemental gods, which represent, fire, earth, water, wind. You get celestial gods, which represent planets and stars and the sun. You get abstract gods, gods of love, war, knowledge. You get anthropomorphic gods, gods that take on human form, mirror human hierarchy. You get many different gods across cultures and across time. In fact, if you study the genealogy of the God of the Bible, he comes from what's called the Levant, which is the Middle East, where modern day Jerusalem is now. And in the Levant, the history of god making is very well documented. So some of the earliest gods are the Sumerian gods, which is like Inanna, Ishtar, Anu. But the genealogy of the God in the Bible, or the Old Testament, would be called Yahweh, right? He gets some of his properties from El Elyon, which is a god of the Canaanites, okay? But the Canaanites, the Babylonians, Akkadians, and Israelites all come from the lineage of Sumerians and Mesopotamians. So they borrow stories and ideas from each other historically to build out their gods and their mythoses. For instance, the story of Noah's Ark comes from ancient Sumeria, right? There's lots of these little things that they're probably not going to teach you in bloody Bible school or wherever the hell you go, right? But you could take it upon yourself to study these things. All that being said, right, I don't give the Abrahamic faiths exclusivity over the idea of God. I think there's lots of other cultures on earth that have older gods and even sometimes more robust ideas of gods than the Abrahamic faiths. So to waste our time just arguing about what the Bible says is exactly that, a waste of time. We're talking about God as a concept. Religion is a secondary thing to God as a concept. I don't think we can jump down here. That looks interesting. Is it worth a leap? Do a leaper. That was okay. We didn't die. Look at that. We didn't die. We made it. Yeah, see, the thing is, though, the Muslims don't say that Muhammad is God, though, so there's plenty of evidence of a guy called Muhammad existing. If anything, like, Muhammad was like he set up Islam as a political vehicle, right? Because Islam becomes a state religion almost instantly, and like a governing religion for Saudi Arabia, or what's now called Saudi Arabia, the Arab world. I think it's Saudi. But yeah, like this is just what I'm saying. So in terms of like doing history, the historicity of a guy called Jesus wouldn't be the same for Napoleon or Abraham Lincoln. Like these are actual humans. There's no one claiming that they did magical things. There's no one saying that they are, God. So they fit in the category of a normal human. A god man fits in the category of a fictional character until proven otherwise. But like I said, the stories that surround Jesus that make him, air quotations, god man, right, or miraculous, only happen in the Bible. Historical records don't account for that. Like, you really gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. It's absurd. That walk-up was funny. And again, right, divine revelation, I don't think those happen. Any time you hear about a divine revelation, you have to take the word of the person telling you that, because there's no way to verify it actually happened, right? So there's that. Oh, what? I didn't even get to a sight of grace. I got to do all that again. Oh, my clumsiness. I just pay attention to the game this time. I hate parkour in games like this, man. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So you can't recreate the conditions necessary to experience what's called a divine revelation. A divine revelation takes place in the mind of an individual, and they have to report the events. So at the point where you can't recreate the conditions to experience what they experienced, which is called intersubjectively, or objectively verify what they're telling you, you have to accept it without proof, which is called belief, right? You have to choose to believe that someone did in fact get a divine revelation. And that's the position you're in with most religious ideologies. So they're not based on tangible, objectively verifiable things. They're things that people report. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Even if truth hurts, it's still better to know it than to lie or to be in a delusion. Well, the thing is, Nuck, right? Humans have been inventing concepts of God for a very long time. So there's no good argument to suggest that humans have been discovering gods. It's actually the fact that humans have been trying to explain things, so they come up with things like gods. Like I said, like in evolutionary psychology, there's something called hyperactive agency detection device, also in neuroscience. Right? That's just basically the thing, like a feature that our brain has, where we discover something unknown. The unknown is perceived as a threat. Then we fill the unknown with information to make it a known, and then help buttress chances of survival. Okay? During that process, we start to come up with ideas of God, meaning we assign agency to things without understanding what they are. So like lightning happens and someone's like, wow, that's God, that's an angry spirit throwing fire from the heavens, Then through history they start to build stories around it, lore around it. Then they start to create rituals to appease the gods, so you don't get struck by lightning, so you don't get swallowed by the earth or drowned by the tsunami, right? These are the kinds of things humans have been doing historically. What's up, Sylvan? No, I don't think I'm particularly smarter than anybody else, bro. I think it's possible for people to understand what I'm saying. It's just a matter of breaking through that wall of cognitive bias and cognitive dissonance. I definitely don't think I'm smart in any way, but it's just like people, they got to grasp it at their own time, innit? Yeah, Antonio. Yeah, so the anthropomorphism does come later. It comes later. But I'm talking about primitive humans, right, would have had what's described as that hyperactive agency detection device. They may not have verbalized the god as like an essence. It would have been passed on as a story, like through what's called anthropology, cultural memory, ritual, oratorical history, etc. But then through culture, that event that is the lightning becomes deified, and that's where your anthropomorphism starts to come into play. We're talking about early primitive humans. That's kind of wild, Loopy. Now I can't find the bloody entrance. Like, it's like 400,000 points, you know. Let's try again. Maybe Dickie, yeah, you might be right, but I'm just thinking in a way like, I'm not sure. There's no way I can verify that they were able to articulate ideas of anthropomorphism. I don't even know at this point they would have had like that kind of conceptual power. Do you know what I'm saying? But in terms of the hyperactive agency thing, that seems to be a built-in mechanism. That's something that comes out of humans even now. Right? It's like, oh, my PlayStation's acting funny, right? It's the spirit, like this. It's acting of its own accord. But yeah, you're not wrong. In a way, it is anthropomorphism. So I can understand your point. But yeah, I'm just saying, there's no way I can know for certain if that's what they were thinking that at that point in history. Where are my points? Got us doing parkour in a game like this. Me, ignorant? Have you realised the question you keep asking me? What's your explanation to it? That's funny. Black goo. Ah, I thought I had Ichiman double there. There we go. Oh, you tried to time me. Yeah, but the problem is he doesn't realise the stupidity of what he's actually asking me. That's the problem. It's like, well, the thing is, no one is dismissing the existence of God. I'm simply just saying these gods that humans are talking about currently and have been talking about historically are clearly inventions, right? That it doesn't remove the possibility of there being a god. It's just clearly identifying the how and the why humans have been making gods, right? That's all that's being said here. As my standard position is an agnostic atheist. That means I'm atheist to the gods you're presenting to me, but I'm open to the possibility of there being something else out there. It's just it's that simple. It's not that deep. No, right? See, I don't think you fully understand. Right? That's the problem. You're arguing from an emotional place. What's up, Julian? I didn't know that. What's up, George? Oh man, I wish I didn't read that goofy comment. That comment set me off the edge. Oh my god, literally. Oh my god. But right, so I'm saying like I want to see the evidence of the God that you're promoting, right? And if you haven't got tangible like empirical evidence, then maybe you got a good argument that might change my mind. I wanna read your good argument or see your evidence. Look at this projection. No, I'd never do that, Cloud9. I don't think anybody should do that. Like new studies are finding out that your brain doesn't fully develop till nearly your early 30s. So if you engage in substance abuse at a young age or any time before that, there's a good chance you'll stunt your mental growth. You never know. You could have been a genius or something. You just mess it up by doing substances. You can't demonstrate free will, bro. Free will is like an apologetic smoothing over of problems in the Bible. In fact, free will is not even found in the Bible. So it's just like apologetic smoothings, trying to figure out the problem of evil, which the Bible actually created for itself, right? The minute you say God is all good, but God does bad things, you create the problem of evil. So there's two ways you can fix the problem of evil: is you can invent a devil, and you can invent free will. So you can shift the burden of blame to the individual, rather than the person that's got all the actual power, which would be your God. But yeah, even that being said, though, if you could demonstrate free will, I'd love to know how you plan to do that. Ali, I've never said something can come from nothing, but like a standard Abrahamic view, it's called materia ex nihilo, right? That means out of nothing in Latin. And it's the standard view that God spoke the world into existence. Okay, that is something out of nothing. That's the view that you hold. So when you say something can't come from nothing, you're actually arguing against your own belief system, which is good, because that means you're just a couple more steps away from becoming aware of the bad things that you're believing currently. It's just a few more steps, a couple bit of reading, and it'll get you there. But yeah, I would never say something comes from nothing. That's just not a position I hold. I think nothing is is the negation of a specific set of things. So there is no true nothing. No, Benson, I don't. It's a cool concept. You can be a compatibilist, but you can't demonstrate free will in like the dictionary sense of what free will is. I mean, if you like start coming up with your own different definitions of free will, then yeah, you can have free will. But if you go by like a standard definition, I don't think that's a power that humans are capable of possessing. Oh, I went the wrong way. Standard dictionary definition of free will is the power to act free from the constraint of necessity or fate, or at one's own discretion. Acting at one's own discretion is a secondary definition. Primary definition is free from the constraint of necessity or fate. So yeah, choice would be a part of that, but choice is not synonymous with that. So if you think free will is simply choice, it's not. You can have choice within a deterministic framework. Well, look, like I said, it all depends on what you choose to think. There are different philosophical frameworks on how to observe the world and how to interact with the world, or how you choose to do that. It really and truly depends on you, what your views are, how much knowledge you obtained, and how you intend to use said knowledge. So I can't really tell you what's what outside of that. You could interact with dirt, right, and know it's dirt, but through your particular framework of how you view the world, it will be something else to you, right? It won't just be dirt. So that being said, It's not my job to tell you what to think about the world. Am I an evidence merchant? What kind of evidence? Alright, I think we have to go down there, but I'm scared. I'm scared, the fall is so high. Let's double check the other area quickly. Well, your perception plays a big part in it, right? There can be objective things in reality again, but your inclination, how you lean to your understanding of knowledge, and I'm not trying to get too wordy, but put it this way: your subjective experience of reality determines how you perceive things. So yes, perception does matter, but it just depends on you as a person, what you subscribe to. That's all I'm trying to explain. But yeah, I would say though, even that little nugget aside, there are things that exist independent of the mind, right? That's at least my worldview accounts for things that exist independent of the mind, right? But maybe other worldviews don't account for that, so there you go. Rolling as you land. That's old school Zelda, bro. It's like Ocarina of Time. It's like one of the first lessons. It's like roll when you land. I don't know if you can actually do that in this, but the fall wasn't that bad, luckily. So they intended for you to drop down there, so no damage taken. Still no sight of grace though. No, so I'm not saying your perception creates your reality, right? Your perception colours how you interpret reality, right? The same thing, like, you can never be, like, put it this way. The colour red has a specific frequency and wavelength that makes red red. But you can never verify if another human mind sees red the same way that you see red. That's what I mean by perception, okay? So there can be independent things that don't exist, that exist external to your mind, right? But your mind has a filtering system, which is your like unique subjectivity that makes it appear to you in a certain way. And that's not just with things that are observable. We're talking about abstract things, immaterial ideas, right? Immaterial ideas are like, it's just a bit much to get into, bro. But yeah, I don't know how we got here really. None of this really matters to the conversation. Yeah, Ocarina of Time is the greatest Zelda ever made, bro. Yeah, well, anyways, like I don't know what you're actually trying to ask me here, right? Best thing you could do is maybe present some evidence or an argument for your God. That's what you could do. All I was doing is pointing you to different frameworks of thinking. That's all I'm saying, man. You don't have to take them. Maybe I'm not doing a good job of explaining them, which is probably the case. Yeah. Who's shooting? Yeah, so I don't make claims about how things came about. I think people use the idea of created in a circular kind of question-begging way. They're already convinced that this anthropomorphic type of God exists that has the capacity to create things, and they believe in a creationist myth. So they look around and say, yeah, I believe there's a creator, therefore everything is creation. I simply just don't feel like that. I haven't got a good reason to think that. These guys are annoying, bro. We got a sight of grace here. I might have missed it. Yeah, but like I said, right, I told you, from my worldview, right, if that is even a thing, you can have objective truths, meaning mind independent things, things that would exist independent of a mind observing them. Now, whether there's such thing as an absolute truth, I don't know. I think absolute truths only exist in formalized processes like mathematics. Right? Outside of that, your subjectivity comes into play. Why do I think absolute truths are only exist in mathematical senses? Is because it's a formalized process that 1 + 1 will equal 2 based on that process. Okay. But outside of those processes, like those predefined processes, I don't know if an absolute truth can exist. Right? That's all I'm saying. Big stone walls. Alright, big up to you, Bryson. Just exploring. Morals are ethics. They come from humans. Morals come from humans, in short. Yeah, I don't think that's the case, though. Maybe you can explain to me how God is a process. Little punk. Not yet, not yet. Don't know, Moon Man. I don't know. When you say base reality, what do you mean? How can you know that, user? Give me your reasoning behind that. I mean, which God are you talking about as well? Because there's lots of different concepts of God. There's lots of different types of God. So, how can you know that? Why should I take off the armor? Do you reckon it's going to make it harder? I think I'll be able to smash this guy without, well, smash myself without losing my armor. Should we make it so I have to fist fight him? Maybe he has a weapon already. Hmm. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean, Moon Man. I mean, I don't know, right? I think I don't take the possibility off the table, right? Put it that way. And like some like more smart people than me have said before, if there is a chance we're in a simulation, the best way we can find out if we're in a simulation is if we gain the capacity to build a simulation ourselves, or we find a way to break the natural laws that we describe. They're like the two best ways to find out. But like with any certainty, I can't say. How would I know, you know? How would I know? Do you mean believe? We can invent a god right now in this chat. What are you talking about? We've done it before, actually. Those OGs to the channel know about Mango Man. You absolutely have the capacity to invent gods all the time. Gods are nothing more than abstract concepts. Unless, like I said, you've got proof of one existing independently of the mind. I think my conclusion is pretty damn reasonable that gods are human inventions. I don't know. I don't know what that means, that everything's connected. What does that mean? Whip here, snap here. That's funny. Bro thinks Jesus is God. It's hilarious. So yeah, that's a cool imagination thing, Benton. But as for it being falsifiable, where would you even start? Right? It's a cool imaginatory explanatory story, but as for it actually being the case, where do you even start? RJ, that's terrible, man. I hear it though. That's terrible though. You know, like, gods of the past have specific names. Even the God of the Bible has specific names. There's like Adonai, there's like Yahweh. There's some other ones as well, I can't remember. But gods used to have specific names. Like modern English uses the word God as like a category definer. So it would be like a deity or supernatural entity is defined by the word God, just as like a category. But individual gods in different cultures have their own names, right? So you got Yahweh, El Elyon, Ra, Inanna, Ishtar, Zeus, Odin, Brigid, Quetzalcoatl, Tangaroa, Amaterasu, Shango. These are just like what I'm naming is gods from different countries and different cultures, okay, if you don't know. But yeah, the word God is just like a title that modern English people use. Or not even just modern English, like just English in general. You asking me? You asking me, Quap? Let's see. I think it'd be like a creator god or something. In Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. In certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity. That's like the standard Oxford Dictionary. Oh, I thought he was asking me. Shall we use mimic on mimic? Let you and him fight. Go get a mimic, go. Go, I wanna watch. Oh, he said I better get in this fight. Alright, safe then. Oh, killed by myself. Damn. Alright, no, so slow down, Benson. You're saying a lot of stuff, right? But how can we verify that? How can we verify what you're talking about the universe being non-local and your mind having access to information independent from space and time? How can we verify those things? Well, you're making a certain claim, so if you're making a claim like that, it needs to at least be falsifiable, at the least. But I would say what we describe as the universe currently is a local point of view. Right? We don't know what's further afield than what we can currently observe or calculate. And in terms of, what did you say the other part? Access to information independent of space and time. What do you mean by that, right? Information has to exist within space and time, surely, in some form or capacity. So how are you saying that with such certainty? You're moving sassy, bruv. Alright, I think you lot just don't grasp. That's totally fine though. When I'm saying humans invented God, right, we're not saying that humans went into a lab and cooked up a body or something, you know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying God is a concept. So it's what's described as an unsaturated concept. It doesn't have any physical thing attached to it. Okay. wrong button. Yeah, some people believe in Mary, but difference it makes. I'm seeing. Ho ho ho, switched up the weaponry. Oh, why am I so tough? What the hell? This is also low-key a Zelda fight. Remember in Zelda where he fights himself? It happens in, it's 2 Zeldas where he fights himself. One's like the water, underground temple or something like that. Another one's in like a mirrory shadow Zelda, or Shadow Link. Oh, I'm dead. Why am I so tough? I should have gave him a really trash weapon, like a low quality weapon. Oh, he got me. Oh, what? He parried Mimic. Mimic parried Mimic. Mimic, look at that. That was way harder than it needed to be. Lava deer. No, you can tell me no burrito. Or burrito. Bro, remote viewing, oh man, now you're getting off into like weird conversations, bro. But that being said, right, information can't exist without space, time, and matter, as far as I understand it. Right? It's just not that. I don't think that's how that works. But regardless of your beliefs of remote viewing and stuff like that, I don't think that's true, Big Burrito. No, it's not proven. You're probably, I'm guessing you're probably going to point to like CIA studies, right? But go for it though. This is the problem. People become susceptible to all kinds of crazy shit, and when they're not critical about things they think. But fine, right? Even if remote viewing was a thing, still explain the other thing you said about our minds having access to information about space and time. Because remote viewing would still require space and time, bro. Because I've heard about this already, right? I've seen the rabbit holes. Right? I don't personally indulge in them, but I've heard about it before. I'm sure there was a perch with something on it. You said that literally earlier on. Scroll up. Do drop a like on the YouTube side of things though, if you don't mind. I'd appreciate that a lot. It goes a long way. Hey Loopy, thanks for the donut. You're not a creation from a semantic sense, or like you're implying that there's a mind with intention that made you. There's no proof of that being the case. Bro, in order for there to be a past, there has to be time. Do you get it? When you said independent of space and time, bro. Anyways, I'm not gonna be persnickety about that. It's totally fine. There's been all types of gods since then. Right? There's been all types of religions since the Abrahamics. It's that they became world powers, like superpowers, countries, Russia and all that, USA. Religions became like that, and they got the political capital to suppress other cultures and ideas, right? Humans definitely have the capacity to come up with gods, bro. But nowadays, we know that we don't need gods for explanatory power anymore, because we have the natural sciences. Okay? Oh, we could actually parkour over there. Is it worth it? Missy Elliott? What have we missed? No, they don't point back to one god. Historically, there are various different configurations. Missed. Damn it. They don't point back to one god. There is no one universal experience of a god. There is no one universal god, like I said. Monotheism, as you're describing it, doesn't come around till the 6th century. So there was no idea of one god. There was many different gods. Many different versions. What's up, Goat Man? What's up, Matthew? Maybe I'm not tracking what you meant, Benson. Maybe, but who's to say? No, I'm not that advanced to read Hegel yet. Still a noob, bro. Hegel. Appreciate you for the likes, Goat Man. The game is Elden Ring. What's the cross-referencing, Cole? And which part of the Bible are you talking about? Old Testament or New Testament? You suck. It's not that high. What kind of stuff are you learning about? No, I'm not saying Hegel is bad. I'm just saying, bro, I'm not a philosopher, so my learning is going to be very slow and torturous. Whereas you got like a nice teacher to just run you through it. So yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I don't even get the fundamentals yet. You don't do it like that. I know I need to land on the pillars, but I just can't get there. That was the whole Missy Elliott joke. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know what you're referencing in terms of cross referencing. I don't know what you're referencing. Well, I don't think I actually have to do this. It's just like for an extra item, maybe, potentially. Actually, let's check it out. Where are we? The item is in there somewhere. Trash. That's my last try on that. What are you talking about? Muhammad couldn't even read the Quran, so why should I need to read it? Just joking. It's so peak. Well, I mean, I don't know. It sounds interesting, but who's to say? The only time I ever hear like Hegel is like listening to other people reference him. I've not actually looked into what he actually believed myself. What science says we only see 5% of reality? I'm just joking, Luke. Just to be fair, like, don't take that too seriously. It was a callback to the Muhammad thing earlier on when Mo was like, "Have you read the Quran? Like, explain how an illiterate man gave us the Quran." Exactly. It's a joke. Just don't worry. It's fucked. It's all fucked. Oh wait, get my points back. I'll leave them pillars alone. Yes, it's a joke. Don't know. Wait, you want to do like religious violence or something? Because you know. I'm a sound believer in asymmetrical warfare, if that's what you're into. The game is Elden Ring. Who the heck is they? Right, so I don't know if you're tracking the conversation, but at no point did I say I was here to disprove God, bro. I'm simply saying, you're like this dude. He doesn't realise that that's not the sky. We're underground right now. Those are roots of a tree. But he doesn't get it. And I'm simply saying, bro, you're praying to roots. They invented all known gods. No, man feared death, so man created God. Man feared the unknown, so man filled it with information. And it didn't matter if the information was true, as long as it held over until he could survive. That was good enough. Oi! So he is completely unaware. He thinks he's looking at the universe. He doesn't know. He's just an NPC. He even gonna hear my dialogue? I don't even have a dialogue option for him. I'm joking there. Yeah, so anyway, no one said they're here to disprove God, right? Thing is, the problem what you're missing, Baruto, is that no one who purports that there is a God has proven a God. That's literally the problem. You don't need to go out of your way to disprove something that's not proven in the first place. But so far as beliefs, like, you're entitled to believe whatever you want, really. But the thing is, like, to believe is to accept without proof. So that means your thing, your idea, is unproven. Bro, I've literally just explained that, bro. It's not like a deep question. What's up, Archer? Is it Archer? Archer is me. I think there's a boss fight in here. Or was it a summon fight? Who is him? How do you know you're calling to the right gods? How do you know there is a god to call to? What if you're calling to a demiurge or a demon or Satan, the god of this world? How do you know? How do you discern? How do you differentiate? Yeah, I know you got to light all the flames. These guys can be a pain. Just having some fun. Arrow. I sent an arrow from Harrow in a wheelbarrow. Okay. Who's arguing about a fairy tale? How did Jesus know you should wash your hands? It's just people were nasty, bro. You just have to tell people to wash their hands. Have you seen like Victorian, Tudor, Britain and all that kind of stuff? They were still nasty. Still didn't know how to wash their hands. I mean, a guy telling you to wash your ass, if that is divine to you, then yeah. You're not ready for the world, as they say. What's up, Joe Mama? I agree. Bro, he sent you to a psychological gulag. That's what he did. Oh, this might be like that. Oh, that reminds me. There's 2 of those skeleton things to fight. Like that skeleton centipede thing. We left the one in the snowfield. Not enough points yet. Nah. This video game stimulates my mind. As you can see, I'm pretty much an ADD type of guy. And you know, in order to 2x or 10x learning, you have to pair it with play. These are things you can discover. But yeah. Story, man. Story. It's deep lore. It's deep lore about the very subject that we're discussing right now. The secrets of the universe. You are now under a spell. Log out or you will be going to hell. Joking. I'm joking. Bro, you're talking about germ theory, bro. And that had nothing to do with Jesus' teachings. Like, people were just nasty. They didn't have to wash their hands. They didn't have to support themselves properly. So, of course. That being said, like, many ancient cultures had the same ideology, teaching people how to wash properly and not to destroy the river, which is the source of life for the whole bloody place, the region. Instead, take pieces of water out of the river and use it for your uses, right? This is not anything unique, right? And to be fair, anyways, let's not get too deep into critiquing Jesus. People are just gonna cry. No, not the Golden Order. Do you know, well, yeah, Golden Order is actually a group of people in real life. But you can praise the sun if you want. If you want. It's the same thing as praising Jesus when you think about it. Exactly the same. But hey. Game is Elden Ring. No, I'm not spiritual. I have no religious beliefs. This guy's just minding their business, singing and shit. Look at them skanking. Look at that two-step. Hey. Hey, that man is stepping. Got the animals. They're so peaceful, lovely here. Look at that wolf over there. Praise Jah. K-Jah Radio. That's funny. Hey man, I wasn't gonna trouble you, I was just trying to pass through. Why then? Of course they created the devil. They invented God, and then they invented the devil to smooth out the problems of God. Or perhaps they came up with the devil from a dualistic type of conceptual framework. Sorry, animals, at the end of the show. But I shall spare you, spare thee. Just don't go running into a wolf like over there. And many more to come. Not many more to come. Akiro? I didn't see the first comment you made. Where does wolves go? Or wolf? Is wolves plural? I've never actually thought about that. Or is wolf? I think it's plural. I think you can pluralize wolf, sorry. Nah, I don't think that. There's no reason to think that. Mad rats. Wow, they're gonna kill me as well. No way. They're rats. That's what happens when you don't put your bin out. I'm dead! It's good at that. Oh, I almost got me too. Why are the ladies hencher than the men? No sense, right? If you look at what a sin is, from like a standard definition, a sin is a transgression against a God's law, okay? For instance, if Jesus was God, then of course he gets to determine what the laws are, so he's not going to break his own laws, right? But even though that's not a thing, alright, sin doesn't exist in a biblical capacity until you can demonstrate a God and demonstrate God's law. But it makes all the pragmatic sense in the world that humans would come up with God, come up with laws, so other humans would stay in line, right? And function somewhat productively. It has a pragmatic use to make a God like a sock puppet. I hold the God as the sock puppet to teach you a moral story, to keep you in guideline or to keep you in line, okay? Same way you tell your kid, actually, you need to be good this year so Santa will bring you a Christmas present. It's the same way you tell an adult, you need to be good your whole life so you can get into heaven. Similar kind of setup. Quite simplified, but not that wild. I don't think I need to be over here. Hey, what's up, Natalie? Oh no! Shit. Thanks for the gifts. Yeah, there was Mosaic laws before Jesus' time, and before the Mosaic laws, there were the 42 laws of Ma'at, and then before that, different cultures had different law systems too, right? But in terms of sin is something that comes about from Abrahamic traditions. It's a specific type of idea, right? I'm just going to quickly grab a coffee. Now, I'm not saying other cultures didn't have like an idea of sin, because they possibly could have. I'm just probably not aware of that. Because yeah, there could have definitely been other cultures with an idea of sin, but just by the standard idea of a sin, it requires a God to exist and to give a law and transgress that law. Now, you can have like a cultural sin in vernacular, like a fashion sin, wearing Nike and Adidas that's hyper yellow and silver would be a fashion sin, or like, some other kind of cultural use of the word sin. But in a biblical context, in order for it to actually be a sin, you need the God to actually exist and actually to have given a law, okay? But based on your belief that Jesus is God himself, then of course he would be sinless by that merit. It's not that he's a special man, it's that he's God himself, so it's his own laws. I look at the back of my eyelids most of the time, Natalie, and I find things written there that I didn't see the night before. Where is my cup? Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Thanks for hitting the like. Appreciate it, Levy. Actually, I was raised in a two-parent household. How about you? I'll just be a dick now. Oh, please don't stop. Damn! Psh, got lucky. Got uber lucky. There's the wolf. Let's try to avoid that. I need to get my points back. Yeah, but facts should change with new insight, right? Right, I messed up. Look at this guy coping. Cry more. Ah, Torin. I bet I don't even need what's in here as well. Yeah, probably not. Shit. Scary. Don't even know what that's for. Oh snap, what have I done? Oh, I thought I was like well over my time. We still got a little time to go. Maybe, Garrett, maybe. So it would be the first crazy thing we've had. I bet Big Burrito is a big. Pause, not joking. Oh my god. Look at Big Burrito in contemplation. What are you in such deep contemplation about? Why did you ask someone to film you looking like you're in deep thought? why did you ask someone to film you looking like you're in deep thought? What is going on with you? So figure out at home. Oh my god. I don't even know if my stream's working anymore. Oh man, I crashed it. It's Big Burrito's fault. Alright, never mind. I'm gonna restart the stream. I was gonna critique your terrible form on the weights as well, but I'm gonna give you a break. Bro does 10 reps of looking tough. In between sets, he does 10 reps of looking tough. That's jokes. I don't think you can hear me. As well, but I'm gonna give you a break. Bro does 10 reps of looking tough. In between sets, he does 10 reps of looking tough. That's jokes. I had to restart. Big Burrito was too big for my bandwidth. He took up too much bandwidth. Oh my god. Oh, joking. He ate all my bandwidth. Oh my god. Look at that 20 reps of posture, no breaks. No, I'm just joking, Burrito. Don't take it too hard. Is the stream actually working? Or did it actually break? Oh my god. I think I broke